Few tales have gripped the human imagination like the story of Atlantis. First told by the ancient philosopher Plato, Atlantis has inspired countless interpretations, expeditions, and debates for millennia. In Plato's dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, the fabled island empire is portrayed as a highly advanced civilization that thrived in the distant past, only to meet a sudden and catastrophic end. Plato introduces Atlantis as a vast empire located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, widely believed to mean the Strait of Gibraltar. According to the philosopher, Atlantis was a land of immense wealth and technological sophistication. Its people built magnificent cities, with the capital city being an engineering marvel of concentric rings of land and water. The Atlanteans were skilled in architecture, agriculture, and maritime navigation, making their civilization the envy of the ancient world. The tale reaches its dramatic peak with Atlantis's downfall. The Atlanteans, corrupted by their wealth and ambition, overreached in their quest for power. They sought to dominate lands far beyond their borders, clashing with an equally virtuous and militarily skilled Athens. However, divine intervention sealed their fate. Plato describes how Atlantis was destroyed in a single day and night, as violent earthquakes and floods swept the island empire into the depths of the sea. What was once a beacon of human achievement became a cautionary tale about hubris, moral decay, and the fragility of even the most powerful civilizations. Plato attributed the story to Solon, a renowned Athenian lawmaker who purportedly heard it from Egyptian priests during his travels to Sais. According to the priests, Atlantis had existed thousands of years before their time, a civilization whose memory was preserved in ancient records but forgotten by most of humanity. This connection to Egypt lends an air of authenticity to the account, suggesting it may have been based on older traditions or historical events. Could Atlantis have been more than a legend, a literal place of wonder that met a cataclysmic fate? Join us as we dive into the hidden clues, explore compelling evidence, and uncover the mysteries that may bring us closer to the truth. Rising abruptly from the heart of the Atlantic Ocean, the Azores archipelago stands as a testament to the raw power of geological forces. These 9 volcanic islands, surrounded by deep ocean trenches and underwater ridges, captivate the imagination not only for their dramatic beauty, but also for their potential as remnants of a lost world. For those intrigued by the Atlantis legend, the Azores offer an unparalleled opportunity to explore the intersection of myth and science, where the echoes of a distant past seem almost tangible. Situated approximately 1,000 miles west of Portugal, the Azores occupy a unique position, aligning intriguingly with Plato's description of Atlantis as lying beyond the Pillars of Hercules. For ancient explorers, the Pillars, widely interpreted as the Strait of Gibraltar, represented the boundary of the known world, a threshold beyond which lay uncharted waters and the realm of mystery. The Azores, rising out of the vast Atlantic, would have been a beacon in this otherwise featureless expanse, their towering peaks an irresistible curiosity. Beneath the islands lies the mid-Atlantic ridge, where the Eurasian, North American, and African tectonic plates converge. This dynamic geological setting has shaped the region over countless ages, resulting in a breathtaking landscape of volcanic cones, calderas, and geothermal springs. At the center of this story is the Azores Plateau, a vast underwater expanse that rises thousands of feet above the ocean floor. Spanning hundreds of miles, this plateau's elevated topography suggests that parts of it may once have been above water, particularly during times of significantly lower sea levels in the distant past. If true, the plateau could have formed a landmass far larger than the present-day islands, potentially supporting human habitation. The volatile nature of the Azores geology aligns closely with Plato's account of Atlantis's sudden destruction. The region is marked by frequent earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, the very forces capable of reshaping landscapes in moments. A catastrophic event, such as a massive eruption or a series of tectonic shifts, could have caused substantial portions of the plateau to collapse into the ocean, mirroring the dramatic disappearance described by Plato. Underwater surveys around the Azores have revealed intriguing features that fuel speculation. These include terraces, ridges, and formations that some interpret as remnants of ancient human activity. The so-called Azores Pyramid, a submerged structure near Terceira Island, has drawn particular attention. With its sharp angles and symmetry, it has sparked debates over whether it is a natural formation or evidence of a long-lost civilization. Skeptics attribute such features to natural geological processes like lava flows and erosion, but their striking geometry invites further investigation. For centuries, the Azores were thought to have been untouched by human hands until Portuguese explorers officially documented them in the 15th century. Their remote location and volcanic landscapes seemed inhospitable, their history assumed to begin with European colonization. However, as archaeological exploration has expanded, fragments of evidence have emerged that hint at a far older and more complex narrative, one that may reach back into humanity's distant past. One of the most intriguing discoveries on the Azores comes in the form of ancient petroglyphs. These carvings, etched into stone, depict enigmatic symbols and patterns that do not correspond to any known traditions of the island's later Portuguese settlers. Their age remains uncertain, but their existence suggests the possibility of earlier visitors or inhabitants. These carvings could represent remnants of a seafaring culture that passed through the region or even lived there temporarily during periods when conditions might have been more favorable. Megalithic structures reported on certain islands further deepen the mystery. These include large stone blocks and arrangements that resemble dolmens or standing stones, reminiscent of those found in ancient Europe, North Africa, and the Mediterranean. For example, on the island of Corvo, there are accounts of ancient stone alignments and foundations that appear to predate recorded history. Though weathered and eroded by time, these structures spark questions about their builders. Were they simple navigational markers, ceremonial sites, or remnants of a culture that adapted to life in this isolated region? Artifacts recovered from the depths around the Azores have added to the intrigue. Pottery shards, tools, and other items brought up by fishermen and divers occasionally defy classification within the timeline of known exploration. Some of these artifacts suggest connections to ancient maritime cultures, raising the possibility that the Azores may have served as a waypoint for ancient seafarers who braved the Atlantic long before European ships set sail. The Phoenicians, Carthaginians, or even pre-Roman Iberian tribes are among the groups speculated to have had the capability to reach these islands. Historical accounts further fuel speculation. Medieval maps and texts sometimes depict islands in the Atlantic that align geographically with the Azores. These references often describe lands rich in resources and mystery, such as the Island of the Seven Cities. While many of these accounts are considered mythological, they might preserve echoes of older navigational knowledge or memories of now-lost voyages. Underwater archaeology holds significant potential to clarify the Azores' ancient history, but much of the seafloor surrounding the islands remains unexplored. The challenges of working in deep waters, combined with centuries of sediment accumulation and volcanic activity, complicate efforts to uncover and analyze artifacts. Yet, the discoveries that have been made, both on land and beneath the waves, hint at a history that extends far beyond the island's official colonization. Atlantis remains one of the most enduring stories of humanity's relationship with the forces of nature. Across ancient traditions, there are accounts of powerful civilizations, great floods, and lands swallowed by the sea. These tales often reflect humanity's awe of water's dual nature as both a life-giving resource and an unstoppable force of destruction. The Azores, with their striking presence in the Atlantic Ocean, evoke this tension, offering a natural connection to these stories of creation, loss, and transformation. In many ancient traditions, the sea was a threshold to the unknown, a place where discovery and danger intertwined. Civilizations that thrived near coasts or relied on maritime trade often wove stories of lands that lay far across the waves or beneath them. Water was not just a physical boundary, it was a symbolic one, representing the space between the known and the unknowable. For those who encountered the towering volcanic peaks of the Azores, they might have seemed like fragments of a distant world, hints of a land both powerful and mysterious. The recurring themes of loss and renewal in stories from around the world often align with Atlantis. In ancient texts, water serves as a force of transformation, sweeping away the old to make way for the new. The Epic of Gilgamesh tells of a flood so vast that it reshaped the world, as does the account of Noah's Ark in the biblical tradition. Similar narratives from the Americas recount the disappearance of fertile lands beneath the waves, leaving survivors to rebuild anew. These stories speak to the fragility of human societies when confronted by nature's overwhelming power. The Azores are a fitting backdrop for such accounts, as their very existence speaks to the Earth's volatility. Geothermal springs bubble with energy beneath lush landscapes, and deep calderas bear witness to past eruptions that reshaped the terrain. For ancient seafarers, these islands, with their steaming fumaroles and trembling earth, might have seemed alive, almost otherworldly. This interplay between natural phenomena and human interpretation creates fertile ground for stories like Atlantis to emerge and endure. Even today, the Azores inspire curiosity about what lies beneath the waves. Fishermen tell of strange lights flickering in the ocean depths, rumored to be reflections of submerged cities or ruins. Others have reported seeing unusual formations on the seafloor during calm waters, further fueling speculation that the islands may hold secrets yet to be uncovered. These accounts, passed down through generations, reflect a deep connection between the people of the Azores and the ocean that surrounds them. The search for Atlantis and its potential connection to the Azores is fraught with challenges that lie at the intersection of mythology, archaeology, and scientific inquiry. While the Azores present a tantalizing case, offering geological peculiarities, underwater anomalies, and cultural resonance, the journey toward conclusive evidence remains elusive. The challenges are not merely logistical or technical, they are also philosophical, rooted in how we interpret stories like Atlantis and apply modern methods to ancient mysteries. One of the primary difficulties is the ambiguity of Plato's narrative. Scholars debate whether Plato intended Atlantis to be taken literally or as an allegory. In Timaeus and Critias, Atlantis serves as a counterpoint to Plato's ideal society, a cautionary tale about the dangers of moral decay and hubris. The vivid details of its geography, society, and destruction, however, go beyond what might be expected of a purely philosophical construct. This duality makes it difficult to determine whether Atlantis was based on a real place or inspired by earlier myths, such as those of lost lands and great floods preserved in oral traditions. The Azores, with their dramatic landscapes and isolated location, fit many elements of Plato's description. Yet skeptics argue that these similarities might be coincidental. The lack of direct archaeological evidence on the islands a defining trait of Atlantis as a thriving, advanced civilization, remains a significant hurdle. While petroglyphs, megalithic structures, and submerged formations hint at earlier activity, none have definitively linked the Azores to a prehistoric culture of the scale Plato described. The interpretation of geological features around the Azores also poses challenges. Advocates of the Atlantis-Azores theory often highlight submerged terraces, linear formations, and the so-called Azores Pyramid as evidence of ancient human engineering. Critics, however, point out that these formations can often be explained by natural geological processes such as lava cooling, tectonic shifts, and erosion. Without artifacts or other unmistakable markers of human activity, these features remain open to debate. Technological limitations add another layer of difficulty. Underwater archaeology in the deep Atlantic is an expensive and complex endeavor. Advanced equipment, such as submersibles and sonar mapping tools, are required to explore the seafloor thoroughly, and even then, the interpretation of findings is subject to uncertainty. Natural erosion, volcanic activity, and sediment deposition over thousands of years can obscure or destroy evidence. Despite these challenges, the search for Atlantis persists, driven by a deep human desire to uncover the past. The Azores, whether they are remnants of Atlantis or not, serve as a reminder of how myth and science intersect. They invite us to question our assumptions, embrace the unknown, and remain open to the possibility that history holds secrets yet to be revealed. The quest for Atlantis is ultimately about more than finding a lost city. It is about understanding humanity's enduring fascination with the mysteries of existence. Thank you for watching. Do you believe in the Azores-Atlantis connection? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more fascinating insights and untold history.